I want to speak more to us.
Mm.
And when I say us, I mean the African American community, Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to grieve.
Mm.
We don't know how to grieve properly. We don't know the steps of grieving. We don't know when to allow grace. We like to try to put a time frame, a time stamp on grieving. We're confused about what grieving looks like because it looks different in everybody. And sometimes you just have to be patient. Sometimes I always tell my people that when there's a funeral, that's not when you need everybody. That's not when you show up and everybody at your house bringing cakes and pops and all of that. That's not the time that you need everybody. You need everybody when you pick up the phone and you haven't deleted that person's number and you're still trying to call them.
Add a little sugar, honeysuckle, a great big expression of happiness. Boy, you couldn't miss with a dozen roses. Such would astound you. The joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true. The makings of you.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast with a purpose. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whenever you're listening to this podcast and this platform, we have the honor of introducing y'all to Miss Shantell Coleman. Is this what we're going about today, Shauntell?
Yes.
Okay, just check it. And this is going to be the
Yes.
makings of Shauntell. Y'all know how we do with the makings of you. If you don't, this is where we do a deep dive on our guests. We get to know a little bit more about their childhood, a little bit, their background. Basically, who is Shauntell? Shauntell will be on Everything Culture for some future episodes. She's been a supporter of Everything Culture for some time now. Right? She's been rocking with us, and this is a series of questions all about Shauntell. So if you don't know Shauntell or you're trying to get to know Shauntell, if you think you know Shauntell, make sure to check this out. Make sure to like, share, follow, and give our people support. But Shauntell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
We
No
like to hear.
complaints. Positive. Encouraged.
Already, I love it. I love it. She was saying she was a little nervous, y'all. So we go take it easy on her. We ain't, but she gonna be okay. She's in good hands. Y'all know how we do it. Okay, but are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Listen. This easy stuff. You got this. So Shauntell, first question.
hmm
How would you describe yourself?
Um, I describe myself as I try to be a positive person. I'm a glass half full type of person. Um, very optimistic. I think I'm very resourceful. Um, I love helping people, especially children. I think I'm very diverse and kind of well versed in a lot of different areas. I love to learn. I love engaging with people and just receiving as much information as I can. I love networking.
We love
Um,
that.
I'm always trying to make sure that I can connect the dots and connect people. Um, but overall, I'm a pretty much bubbly person. I'm usually always smiling. That's one of the things I love about myself. Because sometimes we face things in life, and sometimes you just need to extend a little kindness. So it's good to see someone else smiling or just extend words of encouragement or positivity towards someone. You never know how their day is going.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Got to make every day a great day, you know? You feel me? So thank you. Chantel, how would you identify yourself?
As in pronouns, or just
Once again, I forget. These are open-ended questions,
her,
okay?
she,
However you feel
me.
responsible, respond. However you feel like you want to respond to a question, it's on you. This is the
Um,
makings of Chantel.
I would say that I identify myself as a um, young woman who is becoming the woman that I aspired to be when I was younger. Um,
Mm.
I I'm inspiring to do so many things to impact the world, leave a positive footprint on the world, try to be the change I want to see. So just sitting back and allowing myself to grow and expand and um, just take in life and everything it has to offer. I'll say that I'm in a stage of my life where I'm becoming. So
All
I'm
right,
excited.
love that, love that. What cultures do you represent?
Um, I'm country. I'm African American country. I'm from Mississippi. I have backgrounds of descendants of Creole.
Mm.
I'm learning more about that aspect of my culture. My great grandfather and grandmother, um, are descendants from Belize. So I have a little mixture of
Okay,
little Creole, little Cajun. So I'm trying to figure that all out. I'm still reading about certain things. I did ancestry, just kind of digging. But for the most part, I grew up in a rural town in Mississippi. We call it the Mississippi Delta. So I'm from
okay.
Cleveland, Mississippi.
What part of, we'll say that one more time?
Cleveland, Mississippi. But
Cleveland.
hmm but we call it the Delta. And there's nothing like the Delta. You have Mississippi, and then you have the Mississippi Delta. And we are one of a kind.
Okay,
Once you
okay.
meet somebody from the Mississippi Delta, we will leave an impact on you that is, let me see, how can I describe it? It's almost like a breath of fresh air. We're hospitable, um, we're kind, we're courteous. I love us.
Okay, that's what we love to
I'm
hear.
so proud to be from the Mississippi Delta.
Okay, with the Mississippi Delta. I know I've had a couple people from Mississippi on this platform.
Mhm.
Shout out to Chi Chi. Shout out to, oh my goodness, her face is right here. I got her book over here. She was from the Crossroads. That's what she, I forget the city name. Oh,
Crossroads. Hmm.
we'll come
Mm,
back to them later. Well, this is the makers of
okay.
Shauntell. Okay, we'll talk about that
No,
later.
no problem.
But
Hey,
shout
we
out to
all
my Mississippians. Okay,
we
okay.
find a way to be so.
Say that one more
Shout
time.
out to them. I said we always find a way to be cousins. So shout out to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we both from the South, different parts of the South. We both from the South. So this question right here it always disturbs my soul because of my upbringing. So I would try to frame it a different way. So instead of asking how old are you or sharing your age, what generation do you represent? Do you see yourself? Is it more millennial? Is it more Gen Z? Is it X?
I want to be a millennial with a little Papa Gen Z.
Oh,
Uh, it's a mixture,
okay,
but
okay.
I'm fine telling my age. It's okay.
Okay. Share your age with us. Sorry.
I am 41.
Oh, you a millennial. What are you talking about? You a millennial. I don't know why
I,
you talking about
I got an old soul.
you
I was
right.
raised. I was raised in the house with my grandparents, so they say I got an old soul.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads into our next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your background?
Okay. I'm an only child.
Mm,
My dad has outside children, but I mean, none of my siblings as well, but I was raised as an only child.
gotcha.
I have a plethora of cousins. I had a very tight knit family. Um, I would say in dynamics, like my grandmother lived like 5 feet behind me. My auntie stayed down the street. My uncle stayed down the street. My mother is one sibling of 10. So I have five uncles, four aunts. Um, I have about 23, 24 cousins. We're aiming on great grands and grands. I currently don't have any children, but all of my cousins do. Me and one other cousin are the only one that don't have kids right now. But I came from a very tight knit family structure. My mom and dad were married for 23 years. My
Wow.
father ended up passing away about 12 years ago. And I can say honestly that my mom has not remarried or attempted to, I guess, date. I encourage her to because I don't want her to, be alone. But I don't think that she really just has that desire to date.
Mm.
My grandmother and grandfather were married about 53 years. My grandmother passed first, and then shortly after that, about 8 years later, my grandfather passed. So
Mm.
all of my life, I spent time with my grandparents because my mom was a banker and she still works for a bank, a local bank in our town. And my dad was a truck driver. So I was always with my grandparents. I was always, church on Sunday, watch meet on Wednesday. My grandfather was an undertaker and he was also a machinist. So we had like a major, it was kind of like a industry, like steel industry where they make tanks. So
Yeah.
I'm kind
Wow.
of a tomboy. So I learned how to work backhoes and I can do ditch digging and work skids
Okay.
and all of that. Let me see. Saturday mornings, we would do traditions like go clean off the graveyard and go give um, have devotion with the older individuals at our church and stuff like that. Um, Cooking on Saturday, getting your hair pressed. So I had a real traditional family structure, very supportive. Um, Although I was an only child, I never really just felt alone.
Yeah.
Again, I had cousins right down the street. So I have to say, for overall, my childhood was um, positive. My father was very strict. I was not allowed to do a lot of things. Um, But after I became older, I understood where that strictness come from. And he was really just trying to make sure that I was the one that made it. That was his thing. Um, Before he passed, we ended up having a very in detail conversation. I was just like, why were you so hard on me? I never had the desire to do any of the things that you were trying to keep me from. He was like, I think I did a great job. He was like, you got your education, you've never been in trouble, you don't have any kids out of wedlock, you've never been on drugs, never been arrested. So for him, that was his ultimate goal, was to make
Yeah.
sure that I made it and I didn't mimic anything that was negative in the environment.
Yeah.
So that was his way of being stern. My mom was very supportive. She always it was like my dad set the goals in the house. My dad was the authoritarian, but my mom was also like, hey, my dad is the head of the household. But she'll be like, don't do that no more. So she always looked out for me. I wouldn't say that I'm spoiled. Most people will assume that I am because I'm an only child, but I have been working for a very long time. It's just because I just have a hell of a work ethic. Like if I want it, I'm gonna go get it. If I don't know, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to stay learning, stay educating myself, stay trying to connect, put myself in rooms where I can grow. So, and I think that's paid off for me. So, that's a little bit about my background and where I came from.
And we love it. First of all, great job. Okay. You answered like at least 6 or 7 questions I had lined up coming up for you. Okay.
Sorry.
If y'all know how we do it on the makings of you here. She like knocked it out the park. I'm like, okay, she got that one, that one, that one. Listen, that's the background we got. That's how I feel that. Love it. So, going a little bit more. You spoke about so much about your childhood upbringing. You talked about spending time with your grandparents and teaching your skills and working, and you saying going Saturdays and cleaning off the grave, cleaning up the graveyard and things of that nature. But can you tell us what was your first sense of responsibility?
Cleaning,
Cleaning. Okay.
cleaning. So much so that my it was almost like a traditional type of thing. My grandmother my great grandmother cleaned, my grandmother cleaned, my auntie and my mom, and maybe I want to say at least maybe two of my aunts possibly cleaned. It's just their side occupation. But once I became older, I became an adult. I decided that I didn't want to clean. I wanted to start a cleaning company.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be the one to break the curse. I wanted to be the one to show my younger cousins and the generations under me that it's absolutely possible to do. So I wanted to try to give back to my family as well as establish some type of legacy for my kids moving forward. So I ended up starting a cleaning company called CSJ, which is Crime Shame Janitorial, after my late father.
Mm,
Again, I told you my dad was a truck driver, so I named my company after his CB handle name.
mm, love it. Look at that. Look at that. Building something more in the community and his family, giving some legacy based from your ancestors that's done it before as well. So that is absolutely beautiful. And I know you said you wanted to have a change in your career. So let's go all the way to the beginning of your career or just your first taxable job. What was your first actual job?
My first actual job was my high school, I mean, not my high school, my middle school science teacher had a restaurant called Country Platter.
Hmm.
He always, like, I don't know why, he just took a liking to me. He always would tell me, like, you're going to be something, you're going to do this. So one of my first opportunities was he hired me as a waitress. And I ended up just working like it was in walking distance from my house. So I was always, punctual. He taught me, I actually learned how to cook pretty much everything there. Ended up moving up into management. Um, it was a situation where it helped me build my social skills, my communication skills. That's when I had my first real taste of networking and the power of taking care of people. Because
Mm.
honestly, that really was the jump start of my life. Because after that, until I moved to Texas, I had never filled out a job application. Like, individuals would see me working, and the second job that I obtained from that was a manager from Fred's, a local dollar store in
Mm.
our hometown. She came in, she saw me working, she was like, "Hey, if you're good at this, I can teach you how to do that. Are you open to it?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." So I ran track. I went to school, and I worked both jobs until she ended up promoting me into management. From there, it landed to me being working for Pizza Hut.
Shout out
I
to
worked for
Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut for so long. I became like, all the kids was like, "That's the Pizza Hut lady." Kept working at Pizza Hut. Moved up into management. I was probably what 17 years old in management. So I always had an idea of, I might start off entry level, but I'm gonna end at the at management. And not only am I gonna end at management, I'm gonna promote people as I go. So even now, in the position that I am now, I always tell my employees and I always tell my colleagues, like, "Hey, this is a stepping stone for me. If you want to move up, I can help you develop. I want you to take on this position. I want you to excel. As I go up, I want you to go up."
Yeah.
Because in true leadership, the ultimate reward is for me to look back and say, "Wow, she's been here 15 years, and out of 15 years, majority of the people that I've trained are still with the agency. They're still working, they're still climbing the ladder." And that means that I taught them something that was able to retain them and maintain them.
Love that. Love that. Listen, this is the Makings of Shantell, y'all, with Everything Culture. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are chopping up, learning so much about Shantell and her transition throughout her early career. And now we're about to touch into what would happen if you did not do your chores or you did not do what you were told in the household. How were you redirected or disciplined?
Um, I was um I was never whooped. so to speak. Like I get like a little, but I was one of those kids where it was like I'm gonna call your daddy, and
Mm,
I know that when somebody said they was gonna call my daddy, it was up.
mm.
My daddy was very, like I said, stern. Like he did not play. He did not repeat himself. He said it one time and he meant it. He said, "If you can hum, you can hear."
Say that.
So he was not going to repeat himself, and I wasn't going to allow him to. But in that, I think that over time, it it caused me to be somewhat of, I don't want to go too far to say perfectionist, but I'll say this: for the bar that is normal to other people, it's not normal for me. So
Yeah.
sometimes people will look at and say, "Oh, you're overachieving. Oh, she's doing so much," but it's not. That's my norm. That's all I knew. That's all I was required to do. So even when I want to turn it off, I can't. It's just
Absolutely
pretty much
understand.
like.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this plan, my daddy just fussed at me, and that just hurt my little soul. I fell apart. I think I got one whooping my entire life. And that was because I was in a dangerous situation. He had told me not to go somewhere. I think I almost got hit by a car or something. And
Mm.
he was irate about it. But I got a whooping that day. But I didn't get any more after that.
Okay,
Everything
friend.
else was more.
You got to lock in now.
And
Okay.
okay.
Like we locking in. We learn from our mistakes and the direction that's been
Yes.
given to us. So I know you shared a bit about going to church and being involved. So what were and what is your beliefs?
I am be like Boosie. I'm a Southern Baptist Christian. I grew up in church. I always was taught to do things decent and in order. My grandfather was head deacon. My grandmother was head mother. I was always taught that there was a structure. I was always taught that the man was the head of the household, and especially in leadership and marriage. I saw examples of that from my father and my grandfather and my uncles too. Like pretty much all of the men in my life. Um, but I had to go to church. I was a junior usher board. I was in the choir. I was in the youth choir. Um, I did just about a little bit of everything. I had to clean up after church, BBS, all of that. The body, the bread, all of it. So I didn't really miss too much of church. My grandma wasn't going for that.
Okay, okay, okay. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the family. With that beautiful upbringing. I share the same. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So switching it up a little bit, going fast forward into a little bit of the future. So, what has been the biggest influence in your life?
My mom.
Mm,
My mom is my biggest influence because she has just a gentle heart and a calming spirit. My mom will help anybody, like even when she's upset, you can't even tell she's upset. She either is going to pray about it, she's going to find a positive solution. Even when people mistreat her, I'll be like, acting like my daddy. She'll be like, no, that's not the way. Like, you're not going to get in the gate like that. I'm like, girl, I'm just let me set it off one good time. She'll be like, "No, baby, that ain't right."
shout
She'll be
out to
like,
mama.
she'll be like, "Let them make you pray about it, and whatever the Lord guides you, that's what you do." And I'm like, "Girl, yes, ma'am." But in my mind, I'd be like, "I'm my daddy's daughter too."
Mm, fighting with
I
that
ain't gonna let,
duality.
I ain't finna let them slide too much now, mama. I ain't gonna
Boy.
keep bothering the Lord.
Hey, you are who you are, and that's why we're here with the makings of Shantell. Okay, we appreciate you sharing yourself with us. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel
Good,
good.
good, good, good. Love it. So, what are your passions, and how did you get into them?
I I have a passion for children, for helping children. For at one point I had to stop because for working with the agency that I work with, you can easily get burnt out, and you always have to remind yourself of your why. And so I remember in situations when I was younger, I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had someone to spend time with me. Or I was very knowledgeable of a lot of things, but as far as things a big sister would tell you, or auntie, or someone would just kind of look out, I kind of had to learn. I learned late, or I had to learn the hard way.
Mm.
So I'm always trying to make sure that my kids are prepared. If I can help them be in a position where they don't have to learn a hard lesson. And I can't save everybody. It's not my job. It's not my assignment to save everyone. But if I'm able to give them tools for them to be successful and productive citizens, then that's pretty much what I'm going to do.
I love that.
So I had to take a moment and I had to ask for direction, because I'm like, okay, God, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Need clarity as to what aspect I'm supposed to be doing it in, because I was trying to be everywhere for everybody all across the board, and it was causing me to um, not pour back into myself. I was completely at empty. So now I kind of have a balance where I still get to pour into children, I still get to love on children, I still get to help families, but I've learned about boundaries and self care. So now I'm not just gung ho over. I'm just running, going run around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yeah.
And that's helped me progress in my career.
You had to recollect,
Yes,
get
I have to regret.
prioritized,
Yes.
and go forward. That's good, good, good. The work that you do and we do is necessary. So thank you for your service. Thank you for making that change and being that difference, as you mentioned earlier, that you want to see. And taking, once again, collecting yourself, because burnout is real. But coming back to it and showing that this is a passion, it's not just a job. And I tell people all the time, this type of work is not just a job. You have to have a passion, empathy, heart, and a lot of patience for it at times on numerous
Hmm.
different levels. But yes,
And
no,
then
we
you have to
appreciate
know
it.
to apply it, when to apply. You're going to be in so many diverse situations. You have to know when to critically think, when to step outside of yourself, when to be culturally unbiased about things,
Mm,
to stand outside of yourself and say, you know what? Maybe if I looked at it this way, then the outcome will be different.
have that
So,
cultural humility. You hear me? Love it.
absolutely.
Okay, okay. Switching it up real quick.
Okay.
Let us know. Do you have recommendations for a book, a movie, and a television series? What would you recommend to our audience, the people who listen to the makings of Shantell?
Oh, wow. A book, I would say Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, okay.
A movie, I would say Antoine Fisher.
Mm, that's a
And
tough one.
what else was the last one?
A television series.
A television series, The Huxtables.
Mm. You're talking about the Cosby Show, y'all.
Yeah, the Cosby Show.
Listen, listen. I already knew. I already know. I already know. Someone was talking about it the other day. Like they really should have that on a streaming network. We understand with
Hmm.
the main star of the show done his career, but it's so many other people in that show careers have blossomed, and the impact that that show and that series have on not just the black community, but numerous communities that it's needed to be seen. So absolutely support it.
One thing that stuck out for me was one Sunday, my pastor was like, sometimes people are going to miss the message because they don't like the messenger.
Mm,
But there are so many hidden jewels in the Cosby Show. Just as far, just diversity. Think about it. They had multiple kids, they had multiple friends that came from different backgrounds,
the
how they
spectrum,
interacted with, how they spoke to each other, communication skills. Starting even Rudy, like starting her young, Olivia, her intelligence at a young age. There's so many jewels in the Cosby show. So I think that for someone who was either looking to be a parent, um, starting their own family, things like that. It might help them shift what type of parent they want to be.
Love it. You know, I share with people that when I was younger, I did not like the Cosby Show because I didn't think it was real because of my upbringing. Yeah, I've shared it before, but I love that it's still being pushed as a great show. And as that I'm older and I'm a lot more lived and I have more experience and once again I've seen more, that I see the importance and the greatness that when as you mentioned this the spectrum and the diversity and the inclusion within this show in total and even
Mhm.
going into the spin-offs as well, like in a different world.
Yeah,
Such a great impact that we had on the community that we have here in America and across the world, honestly. Uh,
absolutely.
good stuff. Good
It
stuff.
almost kind of reminds me of Houston because Houston's a melting pot.
Mm, mm. Once again, for it being the most diverse county in the nation, okay, y'all better believe it. I ain't nowhere near it, but hey, it's all we close, we close. But
In our
so
minds.
I know, I know. So, what has been your favorite hairstyle that you've had in your lifetime?
Braids.
Okay, okay.
Bra-
Any
When I was
particular kind?
it depends on the times. When you were younger, you thought you was like Felicia and Craig girlfriend.
Oh, from
Went,
Friday.
went from the
Oh,
thick braids when you just got a fresh wash to the skinny braids that were long and ghetto. We had dookie braids with the thick with the little gold.
shout
Then you
out.
transition to braids with a ponytail with the lollipops, like braids, forever classic.
Braids. Okay, okay, okay. Love it. And that's one of my. I love the. I think hair represents culture so much. But thank you. So braids should go through, and the ones, and I even with braids themselves, it's a spectrum of braids. So many different ways you go by
Hmm.
it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, okay, okay. Go to another three. If you had a phone and his phone had an advanced technology. So with this technology, you can call anyone that you want to talk to and they will have to have a conversation with you. It could be someone fictional, non-fictional, could be someone that's still here, someone that has passed and gone along. Who would you want to talk to? Give me three people you would like to have a conversation with.
My father,
Mm,
my grandmother,
mm.
and it has to be someone outside of myself. can
You would talk to
I talk? Can I talk to my 18-year-old self?
Ooh, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You about to knock out one of the other questions. Go ahead.
Can I go back? I don't think that I made any rash decisions or anything like that. But if I know then what I know now, then I would have prepared better.
Mm.
I would have given, I love options, but
Okay.
I would have started earlier, is what I'm saying.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm gonna give you a question. I'm gonna skip ahead. So this
Okay.
could, if you had the option, this is a either or. Would you rather? Would
Okay.
you rather go back in time and speak to your younger self, or would your future self come and talk to you right now?
I'd rather go back and talk to my younger self.
Okay, okay. Then following question after that: do you think your younger self will listen to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Love that. Listen, a lot of people are like they want to go back and talk to the younger self, and they like, I don't know, the young self. I'll have to put them in a headlock or something. Like, you know,
Yeah,
sometimes
my
they're a little
younger
hard headed.
I wasn't like unruly or hard headed or anything like that. It's just that all of the tools that we are utilizing now, all of the information that we're receiving now, if we had gotten it a little bit earlier, or someone had shared it with us earlier, then I think that we would be in a better position overall as far as establishing families. Education wise, I wouldn't say I have any real reserves about that.
Yeah.
But especially like financial management, literacy, things like that. At 18, if I had been stacking and buying houses and not necessarily because it wasn't really talked about
Yeah.
like back then. I had knowledge because my mom, worked in a bank. So I've always been financially stable and knowledgeable. But if I had actually diversified a portfolio at 20, I would be in a really good position now.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that.
Yeah. Absolutely understand. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So going to our next question. If you had a theme song for your life, what song would you choose?
Easy. I used to have nothing. Now I got a whole lot of everything.
Mm, mm.
And it's not necessarily like money wise or finance wise. It's more of rich in love, rich in people, rich in diversity, rich in a positive spirituality, like growth, um, love overall. Like I feel like I'm wealthy
Wow.
at this point.
Love it.
So
Okay. Look how quickly you jump on that. So fast. Okay. Some people have to come back to that, come back to them about that question. Okay. So, Shauntell, how do you define or describe joy?
hmm, I will say joy is something that is created intentionally yet pure.
Mm.
It can be um it, I don't want to put that.
Take your time. Take your time.
Only because I have this saying that I saw that is comparison is the killer of joy. So we can be happy in our own spaces in our own real time, but we'll be looking outside of the lens like, hey, I wish I had that or I needed this or, things like that. But you really have to just make sure that you're a good steward over what you already have. And that is joy. You're creating your own joy. So if you focus more on that, then you wouldn't even be worried about anything outside of that. And you'd actually be happy with what you already have.
Mm.
So
Say
even
that.
if God gives you a more, it's just abundance at that point.
I love it. I love it. Y'all are listening to the makings of Shantell with Everythang Culture. Thank you. She dropping wisdom for y'all. Y'all listening? Y'all tapping in. Y'all tuning in. Make sure to like, share, comment. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. So, Shantell, what privileges do you benefit from?
Privileges. Mm, I'm privileged. I don't know. I've never, I guess, thought of myself as being privileged. Um, Give me an example of what you
Once again, these are open-ended questions. Yeah.
give me an example of something you're privileged.
Are you asking something that I may feel like is a privilege
Mhm.
for myself?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I
I can
am.
kind of get out.
No, it's fine. I can say I have male privilege. Um, I know people may treat me differently because I am a man. As you even stated before, even in our faith and culture, people are going to put me as a leader, even though it's a responsibility of mine. But it's also at times people may put a bit of respect for me. I am
Hmm.
privileged to be a follower of Christ, even though it's work. But I also know the benefit and the long term, the affinity and extended life I'm gonna receive. I benefit from having a great beard. Okay, that's a privilege I can look at.
Okay. What
Benefit
type
of
of
having higher education. Um, there's even receiving an education. I have a privilege of having a family of love. Um,
hmm
just the things I know that other people may not have for whatever reason. You know, Even growing up in a household that I was like, I received love in the household. It may not always been perfect. It may not been um a multi-million home, anything of that nature, but I know I had love in my household. I had direction and support. So I look at that as a privilege because
I,
the work we do, you don't see that all the time. And I'm like,
I said I absolutely agree with that. I think that well, in that case, since you put it that way, I'll say I'm privileged to have had the opportunity to experience two-party households. Um, I think that that helped tremendously with my foundation. Um,
yeah.
I was blessed to have um, higher education. Um, I went to a magnet school. I went
Mm,
to I went to regular schools for a little bit, but then at some point around what fourth grade, I ended up going to a magnet school, which exposed me to so much diversity. For the first time in my life, I had uh, classmates that were Indian, classmates that were Pakistani, classmates that were white, and that's a big thing for the environment that I came from. I mean, the city that I'm from still has a railroad track in the middle of the town, and the white people on one side, the black people on the other side.
mm.
That meant a lot for me growing up, just being able to be exposed to learning different cultures, different languages, um, privileges that I probably would have never been able to see. Like I travel a lot now, and I'm not afraid to travel by myself. Um, I think that
She travel all the time, y'all.
just being from a small town in Mississippi, like my aunties would call in a minute and be like, "Where that girl at now? Why you want to go over there messing with them people?" I'm like, those people, they love me. And so um, that's a privilege to be able to do so. But I don't look at it as a flex or anything like that. I look at it as I want the generations under me to be like, you know what? Absolutely, it's possible. My cousin did it. You know what I'm saying? I can start a business. My cousin did it. I can go get a master's. My cousin did it. My cousin went to Jamaica. She got a passport. She got global entry. Let me see what these things are about. Let me go see what's outside of Mississippi. And that's major for me. I always wanted um to strive to not be a statistic. In Mississippi, high school classes, majority of them, they had kids at a young age, or it was almost a norm for you to be a young girl with a kid. Like people, the reading levels are low, not now, but back then, it was high in everything. You were number one at all the things that were negative. So it's almost a shock for people to be like, "Oh, you're educated and you're from Mississippi." Like, yeah, we're amazing people. But I look at it as a privilege because I grew up in a town where everybody, if I go home right now, I'm everybody's baby. They're cheering for me. They want me to win. They want me to succeed, and they love on me like I'm one of their grandkids. Like that's Irma Lee grandbaby, you know.
Say
And
that.
that's what that's why I feel so rich and so wealthy, because a lot of people don't have a chance to opportunity I mean a chance to experience that. They don't know what that's like for somebody to be hospitable, to be like, "Hey, y'all got 3 or 4 rows of tissue over there, or we got this over here, let's split it,
Yeah.
let's look out for each other." And that's all that I knew. So it's kind of hard to um break away from that. I still live to, by those principles this day. My grandma always used to say, you train the child up in the way that they should go. When they get older, they won't depart. So I haven't broken away from any of those morals, any of those principles. I take them with me every day. And I try to implement them. And even when I meet children or families that have not been exposed to that type of life, I know I can't change it for them, but I can show them, like, hey, it's okay for you to want this, or it's okay for you to experience this and not feel away because you want it.
I love all that. All that. Look, everything started connecting pieces. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Listen, and I go follow the next question I have for you. When
Okay.
did you realize you were different?
Man, woo, I've been different for a long time. I think I was in probably middle school before I realized it. And even in my adult age, I'll say this. There are people that see things in you before you see it. And sometimes I don't know, I'm not gonna say I self-sabotage, but sometimes I kind of act like I don't really know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it be those people around me that love me and pour into me to be like, nah, you need to take accountability for this. If it's it, then that's what it is. And if you're good at it, then horn into it. Let it flourish. It's okay. Don't dim your light. Keep going. And I'll be trying to, turn the light down a little bit. And I've always been the person that even when I try not to be in the spotlight, it always finds me.
Love that. I can't. What is that term when you always doubt yourself?
Uh,
Is it something bias or plus? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna come up. I used to use it all the time, but
mhm.
I need to step up my readings again and come back to it because I know that
Look,
it's a term for that,
my
but
professor gave me a book to read earlier today, and she was like, when I tell you I really wasn't prepared, I was just going off the dome because I had such a busy day. I
yeah,
didn't really have time to prepare, but she was going back to back, and I was just like, okay. She's like, your answers were amazing. I was just thinking to myself, really? So she was like, I want you to sharpen your skills. I want you to be better in research. So she dropped a couple books that she wanted me to read. And she's like, the next time I speak to you, I want to know what you gathered from each book. So I'm like, okay, I'll accept the challenge.
okay, okay, I love it. I love it. We need people to help us with challenges to grow ourselves. With iron sharpens iron. You feel me?
You,
Okay, we
you have
try.
completely pushed me out of my comfort zone.
You know, I,
But I will say my pastor told me that a few years ago. Let me tell you, they always say if you want to make God laugh, you tell him your plans. I used to be so afraid to talk in front of people. And my pastor told me, he was like, for where God wants you to go, you've got to get rid of whatever that is that makes you want to be in the background because you're not going to be in
mm,
the. He was like, you have things to say, and there are people who need to hear it. So you need to get rid of that. And guess what? I ended up getting a position where now I'm pretty much the forefront of every meeting. I talk to so many people, I interact with so many people every day. And I just sit back like, wow, that's different. Because a couple years ago, I would have been like, no, I don't want that position.
and you're doing a
No,
great job
so
at it.
I can text you, but I can't come on your podcast.
No, yes, you can. Look, what's that? This little light of mine? You gotta do what with it? Okay, we'll come back to that another time. Okay, it's right there. It's been told that all your life, but I digress. Please let it shine. Okay, okay, all right, all right. So I gotta ask you this question, especially because I know some of your background that they may not know.
Hmm.
But this is in reference to death. In your culture, and when someone passes, what are some of the traditions that are held with the procedure when someone passing away?
Uh, okay. So it depends. Um, Usually you have like we'll go all the way from the point of someone expiring to actual the funeral home, all the things. So usually when someone passes, they notify the family, the next of kin contacts the family, the funeral home. They sit down, they make their arrangements. Um, Usually it's minimum within a week or maybe two. depending on Black people always want to let everybody in the family get an opportunity to come. So I say the most is like 2 weeks. And they'll, contact everybody, let them know. Um, you end up having a funeral. People come. They have different types of ceremonies. Some people do doves. Some people do um,
I like dove. Oh, releasing the doves. I got you.
yeah, releases. They do crowning ceremonies. They do
I've seen
um,
those.
spoken words. They do, traditional singing and eulogy and all of that. You proceed with your procession. Then you either have a repast with everybody, or sometimes people separate repasses. Sometimes they come back to a chapel. Sometimes they have parties. It just depends. Um, for me, I have learned to. I want to speak more to us,
Mm.
and when I say us, I mean the African American community, Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to grieve.
Mm.
We don't know how to grieve properly. We don't know the steps of grieving. We don't know when to allow grace. We like to try to put a time frame, a time stamp on grieving. We're confused about what grieving looks like because it looks different in everybody. And sometimes you just have to be patient. Sometimes I always tell my people that when there's a funeral, that's not when you need everybody. That's not when you show up and everybody at your house bringing cakes and pops and all of that. That's not the time that you need everybody. You need everybody when you pick up the phone and you haven't deleted that person's number and you're still trying to call them, or you go to get a oil change or pick up a soda or some food and you sit at the stoplight and you just start crying for no reason. You need people when you're just stopping in your tracks and you can hear a song or you can remember a smell of someone and it takes you to a place that you are familiar with that person and you're either stuck, you're breaking down, you just need to just sometimes you don't need people to say anything. We are culturally we are terrible at what to say when someone is grieving. Some people, and I see it a lot, they misuse scripture, and that will actually it can shy someone away from Christ, from Christianity, because if your father or your mother just passed, you do not want to hear, "Oh, well, God won't put no more in you than you bear." Today, right now, that's what you're gonna say. Why you couldn't just give me a hug? Why you couldn't just show up and wash some dishes? Why you couldn't just walk in the house and actually start helping, or just sit by me? And if I decide to talk, then great. But if I don't, okay. Just be there. Show up. Ask me, do I feel like talking? People always say, well, call me if you need me. Guess what? This has never happened to me before. I don't know what I need. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I can truly call you and you really show up. I don't know if I can truly tell you how I feel and it's a safe space. I don't know if I can be vulnerable with you because I've never had to do this before. So you're going through all of these emotions, but keep in mind that you still have to process your everyday life. You
Yep.
still got kids up, you still got to go to work, you still got to feed your wife, your husband, whomever. You still are looked at as the leader, all of the things, and that's hard to navigate. If you do it too soon, uh, he don't care. If you don't ever let people see you grieve, then it's something wrong with him. If you grieve too much and you fall out all over the floor, oh, he was acting a fool. You can't win. So it's best if you have grief support, um, a grief therapist or counselor, um, individual counseling, individual therapy with emphasis on grieving. Because so many people are not knowledgeable of the steps of grieving. You got you go from, oh my God, okay, wow, you're in shock. Then you go to this, they're gone. You're angry. Then you go to, okay, I'm in pieces because I don't know how to function. So earlier when you asked me the question of if I had 3 calls and I could call someone, who would I call? And I said my father, because all of the things that my father taught me, he never taught me what life would be like without him. He never taught me how to keep pushing forward without him.
Mm.
So that would be something that I would want him to try to explain to me. Like, how do I navigate? How
Yeah.
do I not break down when I have a flat tire? Well, my daddy changed my tire. Well, now I got to call AAA, a random stranger. And that takes me to a place where I'm like, I'm falling apart because my daddy used to do this.
Yeah.
So things like that. I think sometimes we can become so desensitized. Um, People, I always say that attention is a disease. People want to be the first one to report that somebody died, or they want to be the first one. Oh, I miss my dog, and oh, I just
Boy.
yesterday, or you popping up with screenshots and pictures of this.
Boy.
Their family has not even been
Boy.
properly. This person's mom or dad or grandparent or whomever has not even had an opportunity to officially have someone come say to them, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and
Listen.
extend empathy. Instead, is all my mind, you messed the city up with this one. What? Stop doing it.
Listen. This is the makings of Shauntell, y'all, with everything culture, and this is definitely going to be a future episode. I already think of the panel I'm bringing on. She will be part of it. But let me tell you, and that like I was talking about my homeboy that passed, and people were talking about, oh, that was my boy, that was my friend, this and that, and me and my partners that was man, you a damn lie. And when people talking, I knew him so well, he was such this, even though you trying to think, speak a positive thing about it, he was just so honest. He was one of the biggest liars I knew. What are you talking about? Like, and the thing is, once again, people love that attention, and especially and once again, I can get to talking about this. I'm big on person with the grieving process, and I'm seeing people online when someone passed. A young woman expressed her mother just passed away yesterday, and you can
Hmm.
tell she is going through it. Okay,
Hmm.
and she has a pretty large platform, I would say. And she said today, like, I used to really get on people that used to get online and cry and grieve and all that, this and that. She's like, how foolish was I? She says, she's looking, but the thing is, I'm looking for community. I need this. I don't, because the main thing she kept saying is what you're saying. I don't know what to do anymore. She's lost. And, in my advice, I've dealt with death since I was a little one. Okay. So
Hmm.
I'm a little bit more, and it's unique that you said this before. My mother, everybody, majority of people I knew prepared me for death before they died. And
Hmm.
now I'm to that point. I'm that type of person. I'm gonna love you. I'm never going to try to end a conversation without you knowing how I feel about you in that moment. Not only in that moment, but longevity, because tomorrow's not promised. So me giving you
Absolutely.
that all that love, all my affection, how I feel about you in this moment, I ain't gonna have no regrets if something happened. It's gonna still I'm still gonna grieve and feel sad, but it's not gonna be like, oh, I wish I would have told him this. Oh, I wish I would have called him. I wish I like let me do this now. I'm that type of person. I'm gonna call you out the blue, and you be like, "Oh man, yeah, I'm just checking on you, man." Just I don't be like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
could have called." It's all that shoulda, coulda, woulda. I've been through that already.
They don't understand how important those little things are. And another thing is, the second part to grief is sometimes you're not grieving someone who passed away. You can grieve any type of loss.
You
It could
agree?
be loss of
A job.
opportunity, it could be relationship, loss of a job, loss of what you thought your life was going to be like, and then you have to hit the realization of that's not going to happen. So you still going through the stages, even though someone has not physically passed, and people don't understand that either. They're like, "Ain't nothing wrong with you. You ain't depressed. You ain't stressed. How you know? How you know?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna say something that would have threw this whole episode around. Let me like this is.
Keep
Hey
on going.
y'all, how's it going? Who's happening?
Keep
Okay,
on going. Keep on going.
Chantel. Next question.
Okay.
How do you take care of yourself, or how can someone take care of you? How do you relax?
Woo. Okay. So I have learned. Um, I had to answer this question 3 times today. That's crazy. Self care. I had to learn that self care is not, and I was actually like on a social work panel um a couple weeks ago, and I learned that I would do something I call Self Care Saturday, and I post a status on Facebook, and I'm like, "What are you gonna do for yourself today?" And it would be, "Oh, I'm gonna get my nails done. Oh, I'm gonna get my toes done, or hair, whatever." But then I realized that it's not actual things, material things, or actual places. It's more of a space of peace and like calming. I took off work a couple weeks ago, and for 3 to 4 days, I literally just did nothing. I allowed my mind to stop and rest because of the type of person I am in the positions that I hold, everything is high pace. And then everything that I do always involves other people. So I'm always not just carrying what I have to carry in life, I'm carrying so many other people's stuff as well. So for a moment, I had to say, you know what? I'm going to put that down. The people that love me, my friends, all of y'all, hey, y'all checked in. Hey, you good? I'm good. And guess what? I did something I hadn't done in a while. I took a hot bubble bath. I lit a candle. I listened to a little 90s mix I had, lotioned up real good, got in the bed and watched Law and Order.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hey,
dun, dun,
you know what I'm saying?
dun.
Oh, Vincent Jr.
Hey,
So just things like that I didn't realize that I had gotten away from because I'm always going, I'm always doing. I gotta save, I gotta fix, I gotta help. And you can't pour from an empty cup. You
say
just
that.
can't.
Got to put
You have to
yourself
stop.
first.
It's okay to sit down. It's okay to just sit in peace. I ordered some stuff from my house and did some, restructuring and figured out some different visions I wanted. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
creating your own space, cultivating your happy space is what I call it.
And we love that. We love that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a candle girl. Yeah, I love candles. I got a Kindle now, so I'm reading on my
Okay.
Kindle. I've
Kindle.
always journal. I'm a kinesthetic learner, so anything that's dealing with colors, I'm all for it. Coloring books, um, highlighting information in different colors, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles.
Do you do Sudoku?
I do.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
moving on.
Okay. 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 We learn it. We learn it. We learn it. All right. How
Yep,
you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, we got
No
about
complaints.
four. We're about at the end. We about 4 more questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
We're in this
All right.
last
All
one,
right.
this last walkthrough. Okay. My favorite question.
Oh wow.
If you can have any meal at the snap of your fingers, what would it be and who would prepare it for you?
Catfish and spaghetti, my mama. And yes, it's a whole meal. No, we don't separate it. Yes, it's ground beef in the spaghetti,
Mm,
cooked in a skillet,
mm,
and with some light bread,
mm,
little mustard, just in case my blood pressure.
mm. Okay. Walk them down and mama making it.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, love it, love it. I was like, right when you said that, I said that's a very Mississippian meal right there. I tell you what. We love it because this is everything culture. Thank you for sharing your culture with us.
Comfort food,
And don't get me started on mine, baby. We could be here for a minute. Let me tell
man.
you that.
I could just eat cornbread out the skillet.
Okay, I gotta ask. Have you ever ate milk and cornbread?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Any time of the day.
okay. We locked in then, twin. Okay. Okay. I knew you was good people. I knew you was good people.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right. So, how do you want people to remember you?
Hmm. I want them to remember me as someone who was kind, someone who was innovative, someone who was a trailblazer, um, someone who was resilient, someone who genuinely poured into uh, my community and not just limited to a certain demographic. Community is everyone around me connected.
Yeah.
Um, and just an overall good person with a good heart. I think those are the biggest things that stand out about me that make me unique. So yeah, that's it.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, okay. What changes are you bringing to your culture, and what changes you want to see in your culture?
I am making sure that I am educating people more about financial literacy
Mm,
and the power of leveraging. When I was coming up, I was always taught that like cash is king. Well, cash is not king anymore. Now you need a diverse. You almost need two or three incomes to make it.
yeah.
But we have our teens, like, look what they're doing with financial aid and things like that. We have families that are not prepared. You have other cultures where their kids are already set before they even go to college. Their kids have been like riders on their credit cards since they were 16 years old, authorized users. We don't have a lot of individuals that are talking about that, that are not charging people too. That's a big thing too. You don't have to charge everybody for everything. I understand that you have to pay to get some knowledge, but some things, I think that are within limitations can be shared. So help them cheering out. Tell them stop blowing them refund checks and put that money in a high yield savings somewhere.
Thank you for that. Look, I always use the word term. Each one teach one.
Yes.
You know, each one teach one come from us, African Americans, American descendants of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
The people here, each one teach one. Lesson, if y'all didn't know, yeah, we educate not only we learn about Shauntell here, but y'all get a lesson today. Each one teach one is when one of us was able to go and get a higher education or just an education period. That goes from the schoolhouse all the way to the lumber yard to the blacksmith or whatever the case may be. We gather that information and we come back and we give that information to your brothers, your sisters, and to your community. Each one
Mm-hmm.
teach one.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I'm a young woman, but I wanted to give back. When I say that it is okay to have, I have education, formal education and skills. I have a
Yeah.
cleaning company. I can strip, I can buff, I can wax. I do pressure washing. I do houses, I do concrete. And these are things that I physically do myself.
Mm,
So just imagine if I could take a group of 17, 18-year olds and provide them with a skill. Yes, they could also go to school, but that's something that you can always fall back on. You
sky's
can
the limit.
always, so you can pressure wash garbage cans and make $35, $50 a garbage can. I mean, if you really want to hustle or you're in a position where you need to provide for yourself or your family, um, just learning different skills, like just being diverse with things. So many people will say, well, I don't have the money for this. You have the money, you don't have the management skills.
Mm,
You have the discipline to maintain once you've made a change. Like, and then mentally, you have to make a change. You have to say, you know what? Um, I work me. Will use me. I work about 12 to 14 hours a day. Do I really need cable? Do I need to pay $90? No, let's go do some streaming apps. Let's do $5.99 for Hulu because I got AT&T. Let's do $60 for internet because I'm a student. Okay, so now we got what? We went from 90 to 65. We got about $30 to play with. Instead of that, let's put that extra payment on something else and knock it out. That's one less thing you got to worry about.
I was about to say some other methods that may not we ain't gonna say on here. It's a will, it's a way. Okay.
Absolutely. It's
It's a will,
absolutely.
it's a way. Let
And
me tell you
sometimes you
that.
gotta be creative. I mean, hey,
Okay. Okay, love it. Chantel, how can we support you?
I would just say like, share, follow, comment. I have so many different projects that I want to launch. I'm actually getting ready to finish up my master's in social work. I'm studying for my licensure right now. So once I am licensed, I plan on um, doing a few different things. Definitely working with grief. I would like to do some grief classes, workbooks, things like that. I want to teach skills to high school students, college students. That's pretty much my demographic, that middle school, high school, early college, because that's when they're the most impressionable. They have the most questions. They're somewhat not necessarily always confused, but they have a lot of questions about what's next. So being a mentor and just being a guidance for that. Um, Creating safe spaces for these kids to be like, hey, I want to learn a different skill. What do I need to do that? So right now, I haven't put anything out there, but you can follow me on TikTok. Well, I think I have my Instagram up, but there's nothing on Instagram, just pictures.
You should
Um,
make sure to share your handles with us and we'll share it with our people. It will be in the
okay.
comments, y'all. So y'all know where to find her. All right. But like, share, comment, tell her everything culture sent you. Okay.
And just encouragement words,
Mm.
positive. I love to
Send her
go
some
back and
candles.
I absolutely love candles. I never turn those down. Epsom salt.
Epsom. Yeah, yeah. All that good stuff. Y'all be respectful over there too. Okay.
In the bayou somewhere. So that would be great. Um, I'm excited about the future and what's coming, and being able to just help a multitude of kids and families. So I'm excited.
We love it. We're excited right there with you. And we're more excited just at this moment because you've done it. You've did it. You've completed the makings of you. The completed the makings of Shantell with everything culture. Congratulations. How are we feeling?
Thanks. I feel good. I feel good. I was
Was it
really nervous.
hard?
It wasn't hard, but I was nervous at first.
Told you we'd take care of you. You'll
No
be
one
fine.
asked me, pretty much about me. I've only done a couple bios that's to get in grad school, and maybe a podcast, you know, for something like that. But it was different.
It wasn't like
It was,
this, you know.
no, it was a full panel of individuals just talking about social work, how to get into social work, the difference between child welfare versus other entities of social work.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's when we do our panels. But the
yeah,
important things what we do with the making of you, I think is important for us to get to know our guest, get to know
yeah,
our community. So thank you for allowing us to get to know you.
no problem, anytime.
And before we go, if you could recommend anyone to be in the makings of you, who would you choose? Who would you like to know more about?
Mm, just a regular person.
Either way, anybody in your mind, if you're like, man, I think this person would be pretty cool to have here. It could be a celebrity, it could be somebody you know,
Okay,
whoever the case
I
may
have
be.
uh, I have a sister and a friend. Her name is Marquita Dorsey, and she's doing like life coaching and some other things that she's trying to get off of the ground. She has a podcast, The Light Room. Um, she does the Facebook broadcasting for The Light Room. She does like motivational speaking and things like that. So I think she would be a great candidate for the makings of us.
Okay. All right. So I'll make sure to follow up with Marquita. I'll be looking for you soon. Okay. But for everybody that has been able to join us and, tap in with us and listen through this full episode, we want to say thank you. We greatly appreciate you. Y'all make sure to go and should support Shauntell as well as support Everythang Culture, like, sharing, and commenting, as well as just coming through. Listening means a lot. Okay. You will see Shauntell in the future in more episodes, more in person as well. But we want to say thank y'all so much. If you're listening to this early enough, we see y'all Friday and we'll see y'all Saturday. All right.
Absolutely.
Shout out to y'all. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
All right. Thank you.